All right, everyone. You might be wondering why I brought you here today.
Good for you.
It,
Uh,
it, it's Blaze.
I'm Rice.
Hi, Rice. Yeah,
Hello.
I called you guys here today for the show, the podcast.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
gave
got
us
an email
these.
from a dude named Greg.
You
Greg?
gave us these. Yeah, this
Yeah,
Craig guy
I heard
gave
from
us
a
guns.
Craig too.
Yeah, Craig gave us these guns.
Why
about
did
dinosaurs?
Like, you guys should gather together because you have these
Wait.
guns.
Wait, did the recording software give you a Gabu revolver?
Yeah.
Is that what these are called?
You know what? Fuck it. Cue the roll call.
So we were gonna have this whole Kyoryuger parody roll call where we'd be like the Guardian Kyoryugers using the 13 Guardian Judenchi, and we'd have like the roll call music in the background. But then I realized I don't want to get a copyright strike, so instead, here's something that I wanted to put into the episode, kind of as an explanation of why I wanted to do this. In 2014, I was in a weird place. I was in 8th grade and had just been kicked out of my friend group. And for the first time in my life, I really felt alone. I only had really one thing left that I was excited about. It was Power Rangers. As sad and nerdy as that sounds. I was so excited for Dino Charge. I could not wait for that first episode to air. And, through that excitement and my inability to wait, my journey into tokusatsu truly started. I decided to start watching Juden Sentai ToQger. I didn't know the best ways to watch it yet, but I found out there were Facebook accounts with the episodes up, which have since been taken down. But they didn't actually have all the episodes, and they were mismatched between different subgroups. But I watched as much as I could, and I loved every second of it. And, well, looking at what's happened recently in the Western Toku fandom, I thought it was best to look back at where it all started for me. Today, on my new podcast, Previously, in Japan, my friends and I are going to be talking about the first 4 episodes of Juden Sentai ToQger. You might want to hang on to something, because it's about to get wild.
Alright, everyone. Now, this is not a normal thing for my channel. The Phoenix Nest, you're watching it. I wanted to do a tokusatsu podcast, because fuck it, why not?
Like Castranger, but not.
Yeah.
We're the leftovers.
Yeah. No, we're the regulars. We're not the leftovers. Regulars is a better name.
Regular caster.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do a podcast with Toki stuff, and I was like, well, I'm already part of a podcast that does Toki stuff. So it's like, oh, wait a minute. They started in the middle of ToQger. Fuck it. I want to do shows that happened before then.
So we ended up with your favorite Sentai.
Yeah. Okay.
Juden Sentai ToQger.
Okay, there's gonna be another intro before our actual intro where I explain why I wanted to do ToQger. But basically, I'm gonna explain it again. With all the shit that's gone down recently, I wanted to look back at where I started and I guess reminisce, for lack of a better term, and actually watch ToQger knowing how to watch tokusatsu. So, today on Previously in Japan, we're going to be talking about the first 4 episodes of Juden Sentai ToQger. So,
Amora mucho.
yeah, let's get started. It's about to get wild.
Open on an Arctic landscape, like its son Vulcan.
Yes, it opens on a snowy... Actually, no, it opens on the past.
Where we see a giant carrot spaceship thing.
Yeah, where the dinosaurs ruled the earth. I didn't know they had a monarchy. But anyway, I love
They
how
were just there, so they ruled it.
I love how
they were all there was there. That was there.
I love how quick the transition of the dinosaurs, these epic beasts of nature, And they're dead
I
now.
know, I know the epic. We used them 4 times.
It's
um,
better than the Dino Charge version where the mentor got them killed.
yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Don't worry, time
It's a
retconned
bomb!
it. Don't worry, wibbly wobbly, time you won, you retconned it.
Yeah, don't worry. Now they're not dead.
They're in a zoo.
And then they fucked up the whole timeline for the rest of Power Rangers.
Basically, yeah. They had to create their own dimension.
Oh
Basically,
well.
Jurassic Park happened. That's what happened.
Yep, definitely. Anyway, and then we see the frozen castle descend from an iceberg after the ice caps have melted, and just like, oh, global warming.
I have a
Ooh.
question.
Warming basically caused this entire show.
Yeah.
Question. Why
Yeah.
does the big carrot have a rib cage?
Do you not
Because
know?
Why not?
spoilers.
Why
I
does he
mean-
have a rib cage?
I mean, do we want to talk spoilers already for the entire show since it's almost a 10-year-old show?
I just mean, like, I see a big carrot in the ocean. My first thought is, why does it have flesh and a rib cage?
Because it's literally
A body.
it's literally a creature in the fetal position.
It's a body.
Nah, it's just a big carrot.
That's a man.
It's a protoplant.
There's some,
It's
like,
a-
weird Undertale shit.
It's a piranha plant. Anyway,
That too.
I love the Dayboss Army theme. But yeah, we introduced to the Dayboss Army. What's that guy's name? Chaos.
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 Absolutely awesome name for a villain.
Skylanders did it first.
Da-da-da. Hi, Candelier. We'll hear you sing that later.
Yeah. And then after
The first 4 spots we see attacked:
yeah,
Europe.
they
the Arctic Circle, Japan, and America.
yeah,
In Europe.
Those Europeans had very nice American accents.
Yeah, that's. I
Totally.
immediately was like, why is this European American?
Oh, you mean
What
how,
is
like,
that?
that American alleyway was clearly just an alleyway in Tokyo?
Yeah.
Cue
No,
the Monty
I-
Python, run away!
I recognize that scene. They ripped it straight out of like Ghost Ager's first episode.
Don't discount the last place. They count Europe. They take Europe, the Arctic Circle,
Europe is-
Japan,
Europe is-
America, and island in the South Sea. Which one?
And only one.
First
And
of all,
one
should
of
I be
these-
offended
Just one
by
of
that
them.
shot of the Arctic Circle with all of the obvious native outfits?
And the worst
Wait,
part is,
what?
out of all the locations, only one of them's important.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, it's not the one that's specific. We get an island in the South Sea. Which island? Which South Sea? Who the fuck
South-
knows?
It's South Island. Everyone knows South Island.
It's
Also-
South Island in South Sea.
Also, I'd like to point out all like the people on that island were clearly Japanese people in makeup.
Yeah.
No, there were a
It's
couple
like-
that were like half Japanese.
Yeah,
I
don't
was
you
like,
just,
hold
Could
on.
pass as someone from an island.
don't you just love
What?
how this island in the South Sea speaks Japanese, and also how King has been in Japan probably less than any other country in his entire life, and he speaks fluent Japanese.
Because
Yeah.
he's the king.
I
He's
am
the
the king of
language king.
languages.
He is everything about him can be explained by he's just king.
King.
Yeah, that's King.
He is
Fuck it.
king. That is
He
the explanation.
is Dino Jesus.
I
He's
just
a
realized
king.
that
She's a
he's even
king.
have-
They're a king. I'm a king. How many kings should I know about?
Meow. I'm leaving.
I'm out of here.
I just remembered I wanted us to do another just quick introduction even after the roll call. A bit late, but hi, I'm Blaze. I'm your host.
Hi, I'm Nightcaster Jerry, coming in live. I don't know. It was quiet. I did something. But
Hi,
you know,
I'm Tiger Caster Rice Bowl.
I'm
This is so
Armorhide,
awkward.
and I
this is so
identify as a
awkward.
group of pandas.
That is our Dragon Caster Armorhide, and this is a show, affiliate show to Castranger. But anyway,
All the
yeah.
regulars.
Moving on. And as these children in the island in the South Pacific are getting attacked by the Zoroma, who appears to save them? But King with his rock burst punch, which is very clearly a light slap on the face.
Daigo
Literally
for Smash
just a
confirmed.
jumping punch. But he's king, so he had to name it.
Don't worry, he got his invite for Smash.
It's not even a punch, it's a slap. He slapped him.
Glorious slap.
No, you gotta name the attack. That's what makes it more powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the shonen protagonist. You got to do it. It's part of the job.
Yeah, well, and then
It's in the law, so hey, we have to.
And then after he introduces himself, he says his awesome catchphrase. It's about to get wild, just try and stop me.
Let's make a show of it.
No.
Who
Anyway,
the hell do you think we are?
yeah, that
I'm
one.
a dinosaur.
One thing I love is that
Autobots roll out.
I love how Power Rangers always shows Rangers before they're morphed, before they're ever a Ranger, struggling to fight mooks. But King
And
is
then when they
just all
morph, they can fight him easily.
Yeah, no, but King is just all hold my beer until the guns come out.
Hold my
Like-
beer, hold my gun, hold my vest. Let's do this.
He is kicking ass until they pull guns on him. Not even just guns, lasers. Probably if they had actual guns, he'd just catch the bullets and throw them back at them.
Like, oh, your breakfast.
And then Big Bird appears.
Yeah.
So, plot twist, it turns out Daigo's dad is the dude from Fist of the North Star. That's why he's so powerful.
Hey, do not disrespect the wisdom of Bird Jesus.
Well, and yes, Bird Jesus, Torin, comes from the sky, bearing weapons of mass destruction.
He gives
One
the gift
stone
of guns,
gun.
Yes.
which they say it's a white gun, but it's clearly like stone gray.
Yeah, it's like
It clearly I don't know how to describe it other than saying it looks like the color of whatever comes out of a pimple.
It looks like a fossil.
it's a rock.
Yeah.
I got a rock. No,
Take this
not
rock,
just a
shoot.
no.
pebble,
that-
it's a rock.
Dino Force Brave, those guns are white. This is stone gray.
Yeah. And also the man who's never held a gun before immediately picks it up and is the best gunman in the world.
Whoever said he didn't have a gun before? There's like, what, 20 years of stuff we haven't seen?
Pixar, it didn't happen.
I mean, King's been
That's
around.
what he
He's
learned when
done
he was
everything.
in America.
You say he's the best gunman. Ian sneezes. Excuse me.
King is the king of Florida.
Florida King.
He's the one who put the steak knife in the alligator's head.
Oh, Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
why?
I just realized I haven't said his name. Kiryu Daigo, who goes by King because no matter where he goes in the world, people call
They
him
just call him
King.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a weird
because he
nickname.
tells people to.
yeah. Call me
Yeah, he's
King.
like-
And yet, sorry for the cheap shot, a better king than Zio.
I mean,
Honestly.
Louis the 13th was a better king than Zero. Let's be honest.
Fair. Very fair.
Anyway, and after he gets his hold of his gun, we get the first of Torin's many famous snaps.
Here,
Make that
I did the snap.
make that sound cooler in post.
Snaps have echoes.
Yeah.
That's
Especially in the
Bird
middle
Jesus,
of
of
the
course.
forest.
It's dramatic snap.
It's dramatic Bird Jesus snapping.
And then a giant fucking red T-Rex appears and takes out the rest of the Zoroma, the mooks of the
Hi,
season.
Rexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What the heck,
Gabutyramigo.
Zordon? Why can't we just summon the giant T-Rex to step on them?
Oh, I'm
Saves
no Blaze.
So much
Blaze.
time.
You didn't do it right. Gotira!
Gabutyramigo.
Teramigo.
I will do that.
Wait,
Don't worry.
wait.
That'll be my bit. Every time we see them introduced, I will do the noise.
You don't need to. I have my briefcase. Wait, hold on.
Wait, you actually have all of them?
Yes. Wait, hold
Lucky
on.
bat.
Hold on. Hold on.
Lucky bastard.
Gabutyramigo.
You took my bit.
Now you know how it feels.
No. Oh, this night shall stay.
But oh no, stuff is falling. Where do I put this anyway? And then Tiramigo shows up, and Torin tells King that he is
Tiramigo?
Gabutira. Fuck.
Tiramigo.
Tiramigo shows up and is like Tira.
Tiramigo.
I don't know,
Gabutyramigo.
show Tira. Gabutira shows up, and then Torin says says the king, you are chosen to be a dinosaur warrior. There are other dinosaur warriors fighting around the world. And why was Nobuharu in the Arctic Circle?
No,
Dude,
in
he
layman's terms.
happened to just be in the Arctic Circle?
In layman's terms.
Based on a
See
clip
that
we saw
giant?
later, he was probably just hanging out with Stegatachi.
No, he's like, see that giant T-Rex right beside me? That'll be your best friend. Shoot him.
Stegatachi.
Don't fight
What?
this giant robotic dinosaur.
Stegochi.
It's just like season 5 of Digimon. You have to fight the
Ooh.
Digimon to be its friend.
Anyway,
And I don't see no
there's
Wagamons.
There's one thing I really like about Kyoryuger.
Just because he
and that-
digivolved.
And that's the fact
Ha.
that only 2 of the main 5 are actual Japanese natives. King is a nomad, Ian's from Europe, and
Ami's from America.
Ami's an American. I really
No.
like that. It feels like, I don't know.
No, I'm bring this up real quick. So
Yeah.
you mentioned Tiramigo. In Mew Soldier, except for Tiramigo, all the other mechs are CG. Yes, you
Yeah.
only see them in the combination sequences, but they gave them practical suits and they look so good.
Yeah, all of the Zords in, well, at least all the main 5 in
The
Kyoryuger.
main Guardians.
Yeah, they
or
all
the main
have
ones.
they all have
Practical-
physical
They have
or like models, and it's awesome, especially in the transformation sequence.
exactly like Soldier. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
No, I love the fact that in the transformation sequence, their walking cycle is clearly just some puppeteer flaring the arms.
It looks so
Yeah.
good though.
Um,
I enjoy
but-
it for anyway.
But after we see each the black, I can't speak. After we see the black, blue, green, and pink Ranger suits, we get to the best theme song of all time.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa!
whoa, whoa, whoa!
That wouldn't say
whoa.
best, but it definitely bops.
Oh, no doubt.
Kyoryuger
So
has-
good. It's so good. It's top 10.
Kyoryuger-
Oh, it's
I-
great. I just won't put it at number 1, but it's still
Oh.
great.
Spoilers. The ending's pretty good too.
I fucking watched I watched Kyoryuger almost 10 years ago now, and
Mhm.
I watched it a year after it came out, but it's still fuck it anyway. I have not seen any of it since. Recently, I was like, I want to listen to the Kyoryuger theme again, and I just
And it
fucking
slaps.
I was rocking out in my car as I was driving. And it made me want to do this whole. It made me want to do this whole thing to begin with. Just looking at older shows.
Also, the series was good.
Yeah. And but after the theme plays, the badass theme, I forgot there was an era where the Red Ranger thanked the sponsors instead of just random female voice.
Yes.
Sure, that was just with King. I don't remember that being the case with like Go Busters and stuff.
Was King the
Oh, that
king of
wasn't in
sponsors?
the version I have. I've never seen
The
the
sponsor
Red Ranger
king.
thank the sponsors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
well,
pretty sure it's just King.
he thanked the
Because he's
Just
sponsors.
King.
King.
Anyway.
Oh, shit, Blaze, you know what we forgot?
What?
Well, since Castranger does Pokemon of the Week, we probably shouldn't do that.
That's
So-
my bit. I can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah,
Episode
we should do-
Bulbasaur.
Tim of the Week.
Oh God.
Tim number
I
1.
mean-
Ah!
Yep. Too late. I guess we're doing this.
Okay, remember to put that picture of the one-eyed
It's in general.
cat in the general chat.
It's in general chat. You're good.
I will post that later. Fucking hell.
He is a
Don't-
good boy. He is artificially created to be the ultimate breeder.
Don't scare me like
So-
that.
So after Temtem, back to the plot.
King and Gabutira are having a battle for some reason.
Well, yeah,
And-
he's got to test his might.
Yeah, that's how you.
And
become
Torin-
the- That's how you become.
And
a
here's
Kyoryuger.
and if I can interject, I like it that you actually have to earn the power set.
Yes, it definitely
You
makes
have
it
to
so
you have to fight the dinosaur to get its power, which makes sense.
it definitely feels better. Like
You have to
again,
show them you're at the top.
I hate to go for low hanging
Ah.
fruit with me at least,
Okay.
but it shows exactly why, in my opinion, none of the Pat Rangers were ever good Rangers
Blaze,
because
I will fight you on this hill.
they were just given their powers, they earned them. They had no moral obligations with them. But meanwhile, Lupin Rangers were chosen because of
They had to earn them. They had to earn that job.
They were
Had to
Blaze?
apply and
handpicked.
train.
Blaze, if I had a VS changer, we'd be having a duel right now.
you want me to get mine, bitch? Hold on.
You're into this Power Ranger. Let's do this.
Anyway.
God!
All right, we're moving on. I don't want to, but I just like the plot points of Rangers are chosen instead of just, hey, here's this gun I found. Fuck up.
No, my favorite is the one where the Rangers are just kidnapped and forced to be Power Rangers.
Isn't that what happened? Wasn't that the original?
good old
backstory
Zordon
for the
method.
regular-
Mighty Morphin.
Armor, wasn't that
The
the
Zordon
original
rulebook.
backstory for the regulars? Wasn't there, like, when you and Hellfire appeared in the first episode together, he kidnapped you and stuffed you in his basement?
Oh, no.
That it's been a while. But no, that was Bioman. Bioman just walked around and kidnapped 5 people. Or the Bio Robo.
With Jetman, they were just shot bird waves.
Anyway.
Organic
Genzi Man,
waves.
they were all hypnotized by a dog.
Okay,
That's
let's
a Kyoryuger.
Torin makes sure King knows that if he has to be serious in order to beat Tiramigo, and he's like, I am the most serious. I am the king of being serious.
Yeah,
And
sure.
then he shoots a mountain, promptly jumps like 300 feet, lands on a boulder, and promptly gets eaten by Gabutyra.
He just
I know
surfed on a fucking
Jesus.
rock slide.
I apologize in advance. Yoshinaki!
I was about to say, that is like at least half as cool as what Lucky did, riding on an asteroid twice.
No, you have King shoot a mountain, surf down a rock, get eaten by his dino, and shoot him in the mouth.
Thinking to myself, how in the world did King fit in his mouth? There is a giant battery in there.
He straddled the battery.
Dino magic.
With a lot of pain.
He is King.
And Bird Jesus.
He is
Spits
King.
it out.
King is in so much pain right now. He is like 2 steps away from death's door.
No, just the SpongeBob thing, the battery. That's not the worm. It's his tongue.
Tasty.
And
Ah.
I would like to mention, a lot of people joke about Kyoryuger saying it's Daigo Sentai King Ranger because King does everything. He's the best at everything. Let it
Now,
be known, what?
Daigo isn't an amazing red, but he's a good red for this team.
Yes, he's a great red, especially for this team, but he took the longest out of any of the other characters to actually become a Kyoryuger. Granted, it's because Gabutyramigo
Much like a certain metal using writer, he traveled the world, he learned things.
And, you know, like, yeah, he didn't become a Kyoryuger as fast as everyone else because we find out later Gabutyramigo didn't want him to get hurt, but that's still him.
Stubborn.
Yeah, it's still him not doing something on his first attempt like everyone says he always does. So, checkmate, atheists.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Damn.
One sec. I need to double check something. Fucking. My notes say that "What is your name?" scene also changes meaning now. I need to.
When they all meet
check.
up.
Oh, I remember. No, it's when Dogold gets released.
Yeah.
Yep.
After watching the series, you know exactly why he asked Dogold specifically, "Do you remember your name?"
As here we meet, the sorrowful knight, Igeron, the raging knight, Dogold, the joyous knight, Candelera, and her assistant, Entertainment, Lucky Hero.
Yes.
Her gay best friend, Lucky Hero.
What is Sekiro, a boy or a girl? Because I keep seeing.
I believe
both.
it's female.
Lakiro's
Pretty
non-binary.
sure
I'm
it's
calling it.
Yo, you know what? Fair enough.
You know what? Let's go for it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's do it live.
And also, can we just all take solace in knowing that we have no idea the answer to the question, why the fuck does Tandilira have a BDSM mask?
Because
he
one of the suit designers
What the heck?
was kinky.
has a thing.
That too, but okay. No, I get it. He enjoys getting hurt.
Oh
my
no.
God.
No. She enjoys causing pain. She's the top in that situation.
Oh,
Pretty much.
it was actually in my notes. Lakiria was my favorite of the admins. I just really like the character. But I always,
To be honest, I forgot that her body was also like basically a coin pouch
Yeah.
for her items.
Part of the reason I always thought Lakira was a guy is because if that was the case, then the curators and the Debos army admins are all are balanced in genders and colors. I mean, tell me I'm
But
wrong.
then again,
Because
look
Lakiro's
at
a girl.
Dino Fury where they made green females, so it could work.
Well, sorry, Rice, what did
Also,
you
the
say?
voice actor's female, so
Rice, what did you say?
Yeah, so is
The-
Goku's.
Guys, Rice is
wiki
trying to
says-
talk.
the
sorry.
wiki says Lakiro's a girl.
That's
Oh.
fair.
Lucky Euro's like a Euro.
And after being introduced to all of the villains, we get introduced to all of the heroes unmorphed. Ian Yorkland. I forget Nobuharu's last
Nobuharu
name.
Udo?
Udo.
I believe.
Udo Nobuharu, Ripukan Soji,
Soji.
and Amy or Ami Yuzuki.
Ami.
I think
Yeah.
it's supposed to
Amy,
be Amy,
Ami.
but they all call her Ami.
Ami.
Her name is spelled Amy, but they pronounce it Ami, and I do not want to call her Amy. So we're
Ami.
gonna call her
Yeah,
Ami.
we're gonna go with Ami.
Ami Yuzuki.
In the have all the Rangers conveniently meet in the same place trope.
Yeah, Tiger Boy. Which
Is that a
just-
reference
Saber-
to Zoo Ranger?
I have
Tiger
no clue.
Boy
It's just.
as- Wait, Tiger
What?
Boy as in Saber-toothed Tiger Boy?
Oh no.
As in Boy, the saber-toothed tiger ranger?
And it was yellow.
Yeah. Anyway,
Which
they don't have a
so-
Yellow Ranger in Kyoryuger.
Yeah. We don't have there's not a Yellow Ranger in the series, but a lot of the stuff have yellow highlights.
Which
Which is
makes
a
it look
nice
really
compromise.
good. It looks really nice. All the yellow highlights.
Nice
It looks
aesthetics.
It looks fucking amazing.
Looks
But yeah, and then we get introduced to another reason why King isn't the just fucking badass that everyone just says he is. He falls for literally every single bit of slapstick this episode. Like all of it.
Basically.
and question the strong lady.
Yeah.
No,
Also,
King was
Ian's
the
a
one who
dick.
pointed out she was the strong lady.
Ian's a dick because he immediately tries to start hitting on Amy.
Which
Or is he
was-
calling her Amy? Fuck.
Which
And you
was
get input.
it was kind of uncomfortable knowing that like Ami's actress was like 15 and Ian's was like
Yeah, she
20-ish?
was young. Yeah.
and by the way,
And you could take her kicking the sausage and like kicking him in the dick.
Yeah.
and if you listen closely, like you know how at the beginning of the scene Ian was like reading the menu and just kind of singing to himself like, "Oh, juicy hamburger."
Juicy
He was an
burger,
asshole
juicy-
just pressing the service button over and over and again.
Yeah,
Yeah, but,
Soji
like-
looked annoyed.
Right before King barged in, he was like, "Hey, let's go on a juicy date." I was like, Ian, what
Anyway.
exactly does this
So-
juicy date entail?
This
He
may be
brings her
me.
to Ernie's juice bar, obviously.
Know what that part reminded me of?
What?
So in the first series of Garo, there's a character named Ray who basically tries to hit on the main female character, and it was pretty uncomfortable. So I kind of got those vibes for some reason.
One thing I do like is that before King steps in, Soji and Nobuharu immediately tell that Ami is very uncomfortable, and actually start to go like stop Ian
Like,
before.
back off, man.
Yeah, before King shows up, it's like, hey, bitches, what the fuck's up? Hey, don't mess with her. She's gonna kick your ass. And then she does.
Which has to be more awkward when they learn that they're all teammates.
Yeah. And after he
Wait.
introduces him, what?
You're talking about sorry, but I just thought of this. Saying it was
What's up?
uncomfortable knowing that Ian's actor is hitting on Ami's actor, but Ami actor or Ami and Daigo hook up. What is their age
that
difference?
is that's a little I don't know if that's better or worse.
It's Japan. Let's just go from there.
Let's just move on and not address it. We don't know when they hook up. We just know they do at some point.
We'll address it when we get there.
Which we will not. Anyway, moving on. After King meets everyone, he introduces himself as Kiryu Daigo, but everyone calls me King wherever I go. So just call me King. Come on, say it. No.
They're all just in unison. No.
Womp womp womp.
And
Everyone calls him King because he tells everyone to call him King.
And right after that moment, another bit of slapstick occurs, and King accidentally discovers a portal to the main hub of the Kyoryuger's, the Spirit Base.
It just happens to be in the cafe that they all happen to be in.
Nobody
it's in the kitchen.
No,
it's in the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking.
For some reason I call it a corpse portal in my notes. Oh yes, because you need a gun to access it.
Oh.
And I just imagined they don't know each other's identity yet, so they have to go away, transform, and all meet up again to go to the Spirit Base.
Yeah, we have no clue how many times that actually happens in show.
Probably
at least once.
Hey blue, hey black, hey pink, hey green.
Like, oh, it's Daigo. Call me King. No.
Also, like Gal Ranger, they call each other at first by their colors.
Yeah. And Spirit Base is awesome. It's just this very ruinous area and pure white void.
Oh wait, I remember why I wrote that note. It's because the base is inside the body of Brachiogigas.
First you call Stego or whatever, then you call Brachiogigas. You add an extra G.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm gonna call him whatever I want.
You know what? Fair.
Hey, Blaze, Gabutyramigo. But yeah, I agree. I love the set design for the show.
Spirit Base, it has a bunch of overhangs that are in the style of the main five.
And a charging bay.
Juden Ryu, and the charging bay. Which I really wanted. Which has every other Judenshi.
At least one, and then 4 of their main ones until they get 6.
Yeah, and only only 1 of the Guardians until they get like 5 later on out of nowhere.
Because I just know that for the main ones at this point, they only have 4, and then they get 6 later.
Yeah, because we'll see them later on. The Gabu revolvers, their weapon and changer, can hold 1 battery for transformation and simple final attacks, and another one for their power up mode, armed on, and other final attacks. And
super attacks.
Yeah, and they can either share, plug them into their swords for extra powers, and then they have to use them to power their mechs.
And when they're out of power, they just pop out.
Yeah, they just gotta charge them. Which I hate the fact that I'm using a Linkara joke, but these mechs are running on AAA batteries.
Serpentera, go yourself.
Yeah.
And at least you can say they have multiple, and you got to think they have to ration their batteries out.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite things about this show.
They have to be careful with their powers.
Yeah, if they fuck up, and they can't fight for another day.
Heck, I know we're skipping ahead here, but I think it's episode 2 or 3. Daigo goes through them like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just burns through all of them.
Yeah. In the last episode we're gonna be covering today, they legit have to go to battle completely unmorphed because they literally can't. Anyway, the Ice Age monster, the one that was apparently killed all the dinosaurs instead of the actual Ice Age. Yeah, he is revived. He's revived, and King goes off to face him, even if he can't transform because he wants to protect Tiramigo. Fuck!
Because friendship.
Yes, he wants to protect
Tiramigo.
Tira! Why am I here again, Tira?
Gabutyramigo.
He wants to protect Gabutira, who, without his battery, doesn't have his hair frill, so I have called him Gabaldtira. And Torin gives him his Red Ranger jacket, which I fucking want. It's got like there's no sleeves, it's got a hood,
Which
it's
is
got
funny
a spot for Judenchi.
It's funny because I think in one of the few episodes there's a shot where there's a part of it that just says Kyoryuger on it.
Yeah, and behind that is a little like pocket that holds a single
And
Judenchi, which he uses to
And he's the
transform.
only one that gets something like that.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, yeah,
why-
because he didn't have his color on there.
Yeah.
All the rest just wore their color by coincidence.
Rice, what were you saying?
Why exactly does Torin just have a red jacket for Kyoryu Red, and why does he give it to King when he wasn't even like chosen yet?
Well,
It's called color coordination. All the
Oh.
other Rangers were already wearing their corresponding colors.
Yeah, but
Jerry
like
has
but
left
King
all of a
wasn't.
sudden.
King wasn't even like he wasn't accepted yet. Like his Gabu revolver was still like stone, right?
Yeah.
Because Torin read ahead in the script.
Jerry just left all of a sudden. I don't know what that's about.
Oh, maybe he's having connectivity issues.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I guess he'll probably be back later. We'll move on a little bit. Oh, he's back! Yay!
Hey,
What happened?
Jerry.
Jerry, are you all right?
I had to take a call real quick.
Oh, it's fine. Hopefully that doesn't fuck up with the recording. Anyway,
Sorry if it does.
it's fine. And then afterwards, he bonds the Tiramigo properly, and his Gabu revolver transforms into its extremely nice yellow and black color scheme. Like,
Yellow, black, some red, some silver.
yeah,
Orange.
It's
Safety
so
orange.
nice.
Absolutely
It
beautiful.
doesn't have orange. It has no orange.
That's for down charge.
Yeah. Anyway, but and then after that we get the first Kyoryu change, and it plays samba music, and
And he dance.
yeah, and it forces you to dance. We find out later on that they don't dance to the samba music by choice; it
They're
forces
forced
them
to.
to dance, which I find hilarious. But
And
Just like in Sentai Gear, it forces you to sing.
what's great about this is that you don't see the transformation sequence right away. It's just an instant.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
I guess we saw it in real time.
Yeah.
And I really like how like he fights the mooks again, he's kicking ass, and it's like, oh, you can't beat us alone. He's like, oh, I'm not alone. We're a Sentai apparently. Which leads into this is the
Me and my big dino.
yeah, this is the 37th Super Sentai season. 37th anniversary and every shit like that. They like at like 2 years prior for Kaizoku Sentai GoKaiger, we're celebrating the 35th anniversary, and retconned it so that every single Sentai team took place in one universe, one timeline. And there for a few seasons after that, they existed in a
continuity.
world where they continued on that continuity where everyone knew. Yeah, where everyone knew what a Sentai was, everyone knew how they worked, everyone knew like everything they could about them.
If team-ups happened, they would mechanize each other.
Yeah, it was just all really, really interesting. Just that.
So someone's trying to talk.
Yes, sorry. But it was just really sad to see that go away after the 40th anniversary.
Well, to be fair, they kind of had to because of what happened in Zyuohger.
At the end of Zyuohger, yeah, but
They were in the same universe on a very like technical level.
Yeah, like they knew about each other. They knew other Sentai existed, but they didn't like cross over at all, except for the crossover movies.
Like
If anything
personally,
crossed over, they were non-canon.
personally, I consider all of them to be like in separate universes, but like it's whatever. They're very loosely connected in some ways.
I mean,
That's a good way to put it. Loosely connected.
Kyoryuger versus ToQger has to be canon for at least the Kyoryugers, which then means the entire ToQger timeline happened in the Kyoryuger timeline. So at that point, fuck it, makes them the
Well,
same
to be-
universe.
Because then that doesn't because it's right after Kyoryuger.
But
Here's how I look at it, right? They're all in the same universe when it's convenient for Toei.
yeah,
Pretty much.
which it almost never is.
Once in every blue moon.
During the
But,
summer movie festival.
Pretty much.
yeah, but after he announces that they are a Sentai, they get the other 4 members suddenly appearing, and they do
Right
the
on
first.
cue.
Yeah, they do the first team's roll call, which is extremely fucking apathetic. Like they're just like King is like full energy, and it's like oh,
Everyone
Bullet
else
Brave,
is.
Kyoryu Black.
Fang Brave. The Fang Brave, Kyoryu Red. The Shooting Brave, Kyoryu Black. The Armored Brave, Kyoryu Blue. The Slashing Brave, Kyoryu Green. And the Horn Brave, Kyoryu Pink.
Zangeki no Yusha,
Eh.
Kyoryu Green. Are you laughing at the fact that the girl is technically horny?
No.
Well,
Hey,
I
in
didn't
some
think about
subs
it
they
that
call
way.
Hey, in some subs they call it the Horned Heroine. So
Yeah, I don't like that sub.
We call that
Anyway,
alley cat where I come from.
Yeah, it
Hey.
certainly gets more energetic as time goes on. But
Like Samba.
that first battle that I really like, the first battle is the one I really like more than really any other first Sentai battle, because it shows off everything, almost everything they can do immediately. They get the
and
sword.
Blaze.
They start.
And what's
Go
even better? What's even better? They really show off their teamwork in episode 4.
Yeah, but they have their swords and the slash with the swords, but then they transform the swords into the front for their gun. It makes it a shotgun / machine gun. They put 2
cannon.
batteries into the Gabba revolver to a super finisher. They put a battery to the sword to a super finisher. King just punches shit. It's
King
great.
is just the all-around fighter.
King is
See,
awesome.
I miss it when in a Sentai each ranger has a specific style to themselves. It makes it unique fight sense wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even now, like the only 2 that really have their own unique style are green and black, because black
Because like I said,
black is the gunman, green is the swordsman.
exactly. Ian, all about marksmanship. Soji will cut you down. Ami will kick you, and no son will wrestle
Tell
you
you
while
jokes
telling you a
until
joke.
you die.
I really
song-
like that they gave Nosan like wrestling, because he's like
He
the
was grappling.
he's
Yeah.
like the scrappy one, right? He's like the jack of all trades. Like he does like
He's the
I-
muscle.
for a living. He does
He's
like
the handyman.
yeah, he's
I
the
think-
handyman, right? So he's just doing like whatever he physically can. That's just his
think-
fighting style. I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool.
I
Pokemon, he's the
imagine-
physical attacker.
I imagine them as like it's like as an RPG party. Like King is just like the leader who gets a bit of everything but excels in nothing. Like Ami would be the rogue. Ian would be like either I guess the wizard or gunman in this case.
The sniper.
Ian
yeah.
would be the ranger,
Yeah.
Literally.
Soji would be
the fighter.
the fighter, the swordsman fighter dude, and Nosan would be the tank.
the monk.
The
Yeah.
muscle.
And it's
He's the heavy in this case.
Yeah, I really like how each of them have like only 2 of them have a real proper like fighting style, but I like how like Nosen still always uses his like Nobuharu Lariat Crush
He's a wrestler.
Backbreaker.
Like,
Just used
each
to
one has a
break 'em
distinct
back.
way to fight.
Yeah,
Much like their
really like
mechs,
it.
they have a distinct advantage to their team.
Yeah, and after that they beat all the monsters. King gets barfed by Gabutira and apparently shoots harder to kill the monster.
Judenblade finish!
He's taking all the excess momentum from being puked up and putting it into his bullets.
Well,
Yeah,
having the
how
energy
does-
from I almost said Tiramigo. Gabutira's energy flying
How
towards
does
him
it
as well
feel?
as firing.
How does it feel?
Awkward.
Gabutyramigo. It's the name of the first
Thank you.
episode.
Yep, Gabutyramigo. I'm gonna write that down.
Did I
real
name
quick.
something in this? Yeah, I named something.
We've
Technically,
all named something now. I'm writing that
Well, I
down
meant-
real quick.
I named a few things in Castranger.
Gabu. Gabutyramigo.
It's
Alright.
a mix of like he's doing the attack, but also being attacked as an attack by Gabutyra. So it's momentum. Like you are screwed.
Oh look, I've gone cross-eyed.
Sorry. And
Anyway.
he didn't go giants.
Anyway, yeah, because normally Sentai monsters get big. Not so in this case because they can't yet.
This is before the new tradition started.
And then immediately after the fight, they were like, "All right, well, let's demorph and talk to each other." And No-san, Kyoryu Blue, says, "No, I like my personal life." And then they all agree, except for King, who immediately demorphs. It's like, "I'm King. Like everyone calls me King. Say it." No.
Which is another weird thing where the team doesn't want to befriend each other at first.
Yeah, it's a change to the status quo. Normally, Sentai is all like buddy buddy, but nope.
And
It's a really it's a really refreshing way to introduce the main cast.
Yeah.
And they each have a reason to do so.
Yeah. Like, and King has no reason to hide himself, but No-san thinks that keeping himself secret will protect his family. Ami,
Her butler.
Her butler, she can't be out and about doing this because her butler would kill her. Her parents would kill her.
For Ian, we learn his story in episode 4.
For her to kick things.
For Ian, we learn his story in episode 4, and I think same thing for Soji in episode 3.
Yeah, Soji's whole thing is his dad wouldn't approve.
And for Ian, it's his friend.
Ian doesn't want to potentially lose friends. But it also, he says he values his privacy, which is also probably partially.
Except for the ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, he values his privacy there too.
With his ladies. With his honey.
And
he's just trying to share it.
And after that, we get the ending song, which I don't remember the name of.
Everybody dance now.
I think it's Kyoryu Dance or something. It's a really fun song where go ahead.
This is one of the few dances I still know to heart, and probably some people may not know this, but each line before the main chorus is for each Zudenshi and what their abilities are.
Yeah.
So, but in episode 1, they already hinting at the 6th Ranger. If you pay attention to song lyrics.
Tenna Golden.
Yeah.
Tenna Golden. So wait, are you guys all calling it Terra Goldon? Because I just call it Terra Gordon.
That's what I did. Terra Gordon.
Terra Gordon, right?
Yeah, Shiny Rodan.
It's Terra Gordon, but it's really Terra Goldon.
No, it's Terry Gordon.
I always thought it was just Gordon.
Commissioner Terra Gordon.
I think it was like Terra Golden.
Yeah, it's clearly supposed to be Terra Golden, but the Japanese L and R are the same letter, so.
And then Dynaforce Gray was Terra Bolton.
Yeah. Yeah, that is basically episode 1. Now we move on to episode 2, which begins with a pun by No-san.
Wait, before we go on to episode 2, I just gotta say, episode 1 gave me super hard Gao Ranger vibes, and I'm all about that.
Same.
When I finished watching it, I just had a massive hit of nostalgia. Just, this is the show that got me into Super Sentai and Kamen Rider and everything.
And I don't know why. Didn't Ian give everyone Guy from Jetman vibes?
Oh, definitely.
100%.
I've never seen Jetman.
So is he going to run a stoplight to make the pretty girl cop talk to him?
No, but thankfully he doesn't get stabbed and die.
Or does he?
We'll see. Anyway, episode 2.
We haven't had a Kyoryu 10 years after yet.
Episode 2!
No!
We meet No-san's family, which we're supposed to immediately think is his wife and child, but is instead his little sister and her daughter, his niece. Which, I mean, I get it. It's fine. Because then they play with him getting, trying to find love later on in the show, but I think it would have been nice
And-
if it was his wife and daughter, because that would have had a fun dynamic we haven't
Oh,
seen.
that would have made the dynamic with what's her name? Camalera?
Candelera.
Yeah, would have made their dynamic a little more awkward.
Yeah.
And
I
for
think
those
I-
curious, his sister is played by a Sentai alumni. She was played
the
by
fact that
Jasmine.
She is
But yeah. His first pun, which isn't his best. Let's be honest. He tells his niece, before you go to sleep, use the rest room.
Room.
God.
Hello.
And then we move back on to the villains who are just explaining how they make monsters. There are these pillars in the villain base that each have like
Sadness,
a
anger,
thespian
and
mask.
joy.
Yeah, basically like a thespian mask, except it's very stylized for sadness, anger, and joy. And they touch it. Think about what kind of monster they want to make after fucking Luckiro went to the surface and stole a bunch of shit for them to make monsters based off of.
And what's interesting is the fact that technically we have two under joy, one for anger and one for sadness.
Well, Luckiro is like specific
Entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment and
Yeah,
stuff.
he's
Because we connected to joy.
He's the ambassador for entertainment, is what he says.
Yeah.
You could
Technically-
angrily watch things.
Yeah, but he's always seen with Candelera, so and if anything, he would have a more affinity towards joy.
Yeah.
So it makes you think, what if they did a Lucky Hero per se for all the emotions? For one for sadness and one for rage. How would that work out?
Honestly,
That
I
would be interesting.
wish they did that. That would have been
It'd
interesting.
be hilarious.
I
I
mean,
want to
that
be a
would've
little
been-
angry goblin.
That would have been really interesting. It would have been extremely hard to pull off.
Or and I thought of this, and I thought this when I first watched it too. It's like, what if Lucky Hero was more of a blank doll, and one of the knights would influence him to choose their side to make the monster that week?
Honestly, that could actually be really interesting. Actually, if he was just a blank slate and he changed his emotions, like he just was like an underling, and whenever one person wanted him, they just
Like,
changed his
Oh,
emotions.
this
That could be
like this
interesting.
week, Igeron, this week Candelera, this week Dogold, because
Yeah.
it's rare to see a villain faction connected to emotions.
Yeah. And it's even like these first 4 episodes, they even point out that they don't get a joy monster.
Yeah,
Which-
it was sadness for the first one because we saw the blue aura, sadness, and then I think rage.
sadness,
again.
rage, sadness, rage.
It flip flops, so we don't get joy till later.
I know it was
episodes.
sadness, rage, rage, sadness.
So I like how for the joy one we kind of kept that reserved.
Yeah, which is interesting because it makes you think: how the fuck are they gonna make an evil monster that makes people happy?
What's the good
Which
thing?
they do a lot. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff with that later on. That's really interesting. Like it doesn't eventually like. I think even in the next, like in episode 5, the cavity
Yes.
monster, they make it's a happiness monster and a sadness monster because its sweets are delicious, but the moment you eat one, your entire mouth becomes infested with cavities.
Like this may be a hot take, but I think this is one of the more smarter villain factions in Sentai.
Yeah, no, like this is like especially late in the show, this is the best villain team ever.
Because
Disagree with you on there,
spoilers,
but I
No.
respect your opinion.
because
like-
spoilers, we get more different kinds of knights, but for the core ones we have for a while, they do big plays.
Like yeah, and like Candelara's whole thing is keep smiling. Aigalon
smiling,
always
yo.
cries.
How
Don't-
irritating!
is always saying how irritating, and Chaos is just there.
Chaos.
He's the neutral party.
Yeah, Chaos is the only one
He
that
is the
embodies
void.
multiple
Chaos
emotions.
is ironically the least chaotic one.
Yeah, he actually has control of his emotions because he controls more than one emotion.
Which
Um,
again, 10 for the hat time. What if they actually changed Lucky Hero's emotion to something else? We had 4 different types of monsters.
Well, we're jumping ahead of ourselves there, but let's keep that
Fair.
idea.
Pinned on it.
And then, but Nosan and his sister are talking, and she's saying like, "Oh, are you going to be there to help for the dinosaur expo or whatever tomorrow at the museum?" And he says, "Of course he is." I think that's when the theme song happens again, But then it gets back to the next day where King is in front of the museum carving wood with his bare hands.
He just
testing-
I know,
chops-
Jesus.
He's
he
testing his might.
chops a block of wood into a dinosaur.
I don't need no chainsaw.
his-
My hands are my weapons.
What the fuck? Who is this man?
He's king. That's the only way to explain it.
He
He's
is the king of wood carving.
Lumberjacks, go home.
Then which monster is this one? It's the Crusher. I forget.
This was the
Yep.
junkyard one.
Yeah, it's based off of just junk and like junkyard
Like
crushing machines and shit.
Like crushing machine, trash compacting,
Yes.
general destruction.
And it comes, attacks, it destroys the statue that the kids just made, and everybody
You made the
transforms,
children
except-
cry. You must die.
Ami's also there with her butler.
Gentle.
Yeah, Gentle.
Yeah, the
and,
butler's name is Gentle.
But because Nosan and Ami are there with their family, quote unquote, they can't
They can't
join the
fight.
fight immediately.
Yeah.
So King is there fighting on his own until Green and Black show up, and then finally Blue and Pink show up.
Does
But in the
Blue ever
meantime,
show up?
no, actually, no,
I
Blue,
don't
Blue
think
doesn't
Nosan
show
ever-
up. But Pink,
Yes, here
like,
it pops up.
Green and Black appear, and they use the first appearance of Armed On, their
Armed
mini
On.
little battleizer, where they put another one of their Judenshi into the Gab revolver, open it and close it twice, take it, have the barrel, spin the barrel across their arm, pull the
Get
trigger,
armor.
and then they get armor and a weapon.
Yeah,
The
it's
Paris
basically
shot
their
and the
personalized
Rosatpor
weapon
slasher.
combination.
Yes. And they're
Which-
these
Individual
are really
weapons.
nice. Yeah, the last team. No, next team has the last team with individual weapons.
Yep.
At least individual weapons that combine.
And I don't know why.
Spoilers.
I always love it. I always love how for Soji, sword, reverse grip, tactical slasher, underhand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
never
just his thing,
slashes like conventionally.
He's
I
got to
was gonna say,
do that raptor style.
I
Exactly.
just want to say real quickly, it has been an hour, and we haven't even gone through 2 episodes yet. So maybe we should just speed up a little bit.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
All right. And I just want to point out, Ami rides in on her Juden Ryu,
Dracera.
Dorikera, which is a Triceratops
Yeah.
drilled for horn and tail, and she says "yeehaw," and she says "yeehaw" better than the later eventual Cowboy Ranger.
Yep. Like you're part of Samba, not Western.
All right. Anyway, and later on in the Spirit Base, after everything goes down, Blue and Pink appear, and I guess King, who's just living there at this point, is like, "Oh, hey, Blue. Like, was that a bad time for you? Like, being very understanding and shit." And then I don't remember exactly what he says, but Blue gets pissed off. Pink just
He-
de-transforms, revealing that she's
Out of
Ami.
rage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just kind of decide to reveal themselves.
Yeah, fuck it. But like Amy just does it just because like I have my reasons. Here are my reasons, and now you know why.
And same
actually
reason,
does-
their
she
family.
sees- she trusts King. But Nobuharu is fucking pissed. Is like,
Yeah.
I have my reasons for keeping secrets, and apparently, the first time, like one of, if not the first time he transformed, his niece Rika got hurt.
His sister blamed him for it.
Yeah, he blamed himself. His sister blamed him. Like even though his sister doesn't know he's Choryu Blue. Which it's really sad. Like looking back at this now, like I mentioned at least in the intro, the pre-intro that I did just introducing the show that you guys haven't heard yet. That I haven't seen every single episode of Kyoryuger because the way I watched it, I missed bits and pieces.
Mhm.
This is my first time seeing this episode.
This is when I realized I felt Nobuharu's like ideal.
No San is
Nobuharu-
best character. I will fight anyone on this.
No Son
he's
of all the Blue Rangers that I've seen, like Sentai, even Power Rangers included, in my
One of the
opinion,
strongest
he
ones,
is the
literally.
best Blue Ranger just ever.
oh totally. Like you
He-
cannot
I'll give
name
you
a
that
better
one.
Blue Ranger than No
I can't think of a better one right now.
Like when he just
Honestly.
tells his backstory, you can feel like everything he feels.
He is
You
just
can-
such a relatable and raw character, and yet he's also just so much fun.
Like
Yeah.
he will tell you he will punch a monster, tell a bad joke, and you just want to be friends with the guy.
Yeah. And but yeah, like he explains why he doesn't let his why he doesn't want to be known that he's a Kyoryuger. And the next day, he goes again to help set up for the Dinosaur Expo, and King is there again, already helping Nobuharu's sister and niece.
With the
Doing
kids
stuff.
decorating the statue.
I'm not gonna lie, that was
Yeah.
kind of creepy.
But
I thought it was,
You
I thought it was
reveal
him
your
like,
family weakness, and then the dude is there with your family the next day. That's kind of
Yeah.
I think
he
it's
was
him just
there
trying
with
to be on his
there with the
level.
family. He was there with the family the previous day too. It's fine, but something I really
know,
like.
but it's almost like if he started hitting on his sister, just be like, "It's my family now."
but
I saw it as him being on his level, being with his family.
definitely. Just like saying,
Honestly,
like, I
I don't
also
think-
care about your family.
I don't think there was
King
anything
has-
threatening on Daigo's intentional part, but it just came off kind of threatening.
Fair. What were you
I
trying to
get
say,
it,
Rice?
but it was just him being helpful.
Yeah,
Rice, what were you trying to say?
I don't think King necessarily had the awareness to think that, oh, this might, if I hang out with his family, it might rub him the wrong way.
Yeah, but
It all works out in the end, so.
but he does get pissed off. Like, why the fuck are you here? And he gives Nobuharu some much needed therapy of saying, like, he went to talk with Nobuharu's partner Stegochi
In the Arctic Circle.
in the Arctic Circle.
And they're just
Uh,
casually wearing jackets.
Yeah.
They're not even like wearing like puffer jackets
but,
or anything. They're just wearing like
totally
just
not green
regular
screened.
jackets on the North Pole.
Stegochi gives a third-party perspective into that first transformation, where Nobuharu didn't get Reika hurt. He protected her from getting more hurt. And that is what causes him to realize that his family is not a weakness; it's his strength. But then that leads into a moment that made me fucking tear up when the monster attacks again, and Rika breaks away from everyone and just stands in front of the dinosaur protecting it. This like little 4-year-old girl standing in front of it, like, you're not destroying this.
Just like her uncle.
This is my toy. You can't have it.
And then Nosan picks it up and crushes the monster with it.
He yeets the thing.
Absolute Chad.
Absolute unit.
God, this character's awesome.
Why is he single when he can just throw his big swinging D around and hit stuff?
The Stegoats D.
Nosan is just secretly carrying around an absolute anaconda.
Yeah,
And then they
that's
kick
why
the
he's
monster in
wearing the
dick.
onesie all the time. He needs the room.
Speaking of the D, they kick the monster in the dick.
Yeah, he arms on,
He uppercuts him in the dick.
taps him in the
Picks
crotch.
him
You see the
up.
monster blush.
And
Oh,
then,
by the way, yeah,
after-
his weapon's a shield.
Yeah, oh yeah. Then we have the other two weapons of the Stego Shield and the Godikera
And the
Lance, which is
Dressera
the
Lancer.
drill. Oh, and I
Still
think we
bit.
forgot the Gabutyra Fang.
Paris,
Yeah.
Gabutyramigo Fang. AKA, hi, Gal Ranger again.
Yeah, it's just the
It's
lion
just the
puncher
lion
thing from
fang.
It's a
Power
lion
Ranger.
fang, but dinosaur.
But
Hits the monster in the crotch,
and
throws him.
after they destroy the monster, Aigalon is very, very sad. But then Candillera and Luckyro appear and say, "We'll give you some help." And Luckyro digs inside of his purse pouch pocket thing and pulls out a watering can that looks like a pumpkin called
It's a
the
spooky
Quick with
watering can.
Joyro. And He pours
Joyro.
it on the monster. He pours it on the monster's corpse, and it grows big.
Because as Kindler says, they're made of the cells of Daboth, so they can be grown.
Yeah.
Like a plant.
Which then leads to Torin appearing and saying to Blue and Pink, "You guys need to summon your mechs so that Gabutyra can transform into Kyoryujin."
Atsuki Gatsai.
Which, how the fuck did they get from the Arctic Circle and what I assume is the Grand Canyon in
Yeah,
less than 5
Grand
minutes?
Canyon.
Because dinosaurs.
They're giant robotic dinosaurs.
You know what? Fine. And then they form Kyoryujin, which I believe honestly its name should be Kyoryujin Samba, given what happens
yeah.
later on in the show. So
Technically,
I like
basically,
it is.
I like the
but-
mech. My favorite version's in the movie, but I like it.
My only complaint is I think the combination sequence is a little too long.
Yeah,
it's
it is
very long.
incredibly
It makes sense
tedious.
because that's what we do in the toy. You read one battery, then the other, then Gabutyra, and then combine them.
Yeah, but
Main
like
thing
all
that I
that
get
takes
it.
way too long in the
It
show,
took
and
like 20 seconds for them to like get all the batteries read and everything. It was, I don't know. It felt a
Like,
little.
it was
crappy.
good. Miniature
Also,
effects, like the
it-
practical effects, were all cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
back
yeah,
to the ones having practical suits.
But can I say I love the fucking Kyoryujin cockpit.
Oh, yeah,
I actually don't.
You mean
Too
the
simple
Gecko
for my
Ranger
taste.
cockpit?
I
least
just
I'm-
really like all their pedestals.
yeah.
I know
I mean, it's all right, in my opinion. I think I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Kyoryujin is a little too similar to Abareno, in that like the Tyrannosaurus is like 95% of the mech. They have a
Yeah, but at least the
blue mech on
Pteranodon's
one arm,
not.
a drill on the other.
Yeah, but at
Well,
least for Kyoryujin, one of the mechs isn't like a single like 5% of the combination.
At least
Oh.
at least they can literally they can't make a
You
whole
mean like the mech
Megazord
from
without one of the
Hurricaneger,
Rangers.
where it's the Lion Zord is 95% of the body,
Yeah,
literally?
but that was yellows. It's
Yeah,
typical for
but
the Reds
still
and
one
Dinosaurs to be
mech
the main
making up
body.
most of it.
Also, I don't know
But,
how I
Hey,
feel about the
Bad,
fact.
hey, better than Ryu Soldiers.
Uh,
Eh,
but also speaking of Kyoryujin,
Debatable.
the giant T-Rex man with Gabutyra's head at his right shoulder, what remains of Gabutyra's tail as the left shoulder, Gabutyra's actual tail being the cape, and he's got Stegochi as one arm, Dorikera as another, giving him a giant shield in his right hand and triple
sword.
drills in his left.
They haven't
No,
And
don't
Chip
unlocked
get
has
that
a
yet.
sword.
No, the sword is not the sword isn't a thing yet. But also, it fucking
Oh.
pisses me off the fact that that sword is the only combination you can do with the Power Rangers version. You can't make the actual shield,
Yeah,
Oh.
which is fucking stupid.
I
that's.
don't know
but
how
anyway.
I feel about the fact that blue and pink and then green and black are like separate combinations. Like we never got like a combination with all 5 of them.
Well,
I mean,
technically we
but it was the
did,
final
but you had to
combination.
add silver.
You did, but that's
like,
later.
Just the 5 of them, we never got that.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
well, we
Where would you
literally-
put the other 2 arms?
No, I'm just saying,
mean-
like, just the mechs in general, like the concept itself, like.
Power Rangers technically could have done it because the back pieces
Sword
on
builder.
both blue, the Zord builder shit, but the back pieces on blue and pink could be removed, and you could put those underneath Gabutyra's feet.
But, like,
So you
So,
could've-
yeah.
the thing
you
is,
could've
like,
taken-
green and black aren't like they're kind of a duo, but they're not like. It's not like in Goanger where they're like different per se. Like they're just like the other 3. So it's like, why are they a different combination?
Because they have the actual different fighting styles,
Because-
and then the Megazord is combining both of their fighting styles.
I was
Also
going to
meant-
say, it's
also
just
the fact
because how
that
the toys work.
Certain ones have a different like arm style compared to the others.
Yeah, like the Raptor and Parasaur are bipedal, the Stegosaur and
Are
Triceratops
quadrupeds.
are quadrupeds. Yeah, but yeah, they fight the monster, they win. They do the first mech battle, of course they do, and yeah.
Jurassic Park Gabutira edition.
Oh yeah, and Gabutira becomes the statue after they can't repair
Yeah.
the statue. But I just remembered, when Blue and Pink decide that they don't want to hide anymore, and they just are going to be the Kyoryugers, Ami
And
kicks
I
ass
think
and
it's-
tells Gentle to help the kid. the kids, and
Oh, and as far as I'm aware, I think Gentle and his niece know who they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
they know who they are now.
Yeah, and the niece
They-
decides to keep it a secret from her
But
mom.
now Sen's sister
Yeah.
doesn't yet.
Yeah, and she
Yep.
won't for like half the series.
Hmm.
But it's a good
Um,
payoff.
Yeah, but and after that point, they get the same like side holster that Daigo has at that point. And yeah, it's just really cool to see the team come together like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on to episode 3. King is working at Tiger Boy out of nowhere.
Yep, hence my Saber Tiger Boy comment and the New Zealand Power Rangers
Well,
thing.
being king doesn't pay well.
Nope.
I am not the king of having money.
Yeah. I am the king of odd jobs.
And then here's the cooking pun.
King.
King is cooking.
I am not the king of paying rent. Why do you think I live at Spirit Base?
I mean,
I'm the king of couch surfing.
And,
yeah.
And Soji appears, like, just walks through the door of Tiger Boy, and just orders a
cream
what was
soda.
it, a root beer, a cream soda,
Cream
Cream
soda.
soda.
and sits down.
And
And we find
apparently
out
he
that
never smiles.
yeah, Amy says he never smiles, and it's her
And
goal
she-
to make him smile. And then his
He's the
dad barges
resident
in.
cool guy.
His dad played
then
by Dinah Black.
Yeah,
Dinah
and then
and Gargle Black.
Yep.
his dad barges in, says it's time to leave, and says, "Don't worry, I'll pay for it," and gives him like
Aggressive bill
and,
paying.
and slams like I think what equals that to $20 on the table for a single cream
funny
Or
soda.
cream
thing
soda?
is-
Jesus.
I think it was $10 because it was it was 1,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was 2,000. All right, $10. That's still an
That was
amazing
1,000.
ass tip. That's still $8. That's still an $8 tip for like
Again,
a $1
aggressive
order.
bill paying.
He paid for a cream soda that like
That wasn't even
that
drank.
never happened. The,
Yeah.
Oh, and it's
Soji never
and
got
it's-
his cream soda, but his dad paid anyway.
Well, his
And the
dad
irony-
didn't know what he had and didn't have yet. He just barged in.
And here's the irony. Here's the ironic thing. I watched the episode when he ordered cream soda, and I was drinking a cream soda. Am I Cure You Green?
No. But moving on, after the theme song plays again, we find out that Kiryu Green's father runs a sword dojo,
Dojo.
the kendo dojo, where he
Kendojo.
wants to, that,
Mhm.
and he wants to teach his son their fighting style so he can
So
pass it on, everything
Rippukan
onto
sword
him.
style.
Yes, and but he also says that Soji's sword style has been untamed and beastly recently, which is because he's adapting the style of the raptor into him.
Reverse grip.
Yeah.
Which is very unorthodox, so I can get why he thinks that way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very unorthodox, but like he never says that it's bad.
Yeah,
It's just
like,
not
it's
proper.
different.
It's just
Yeah.
not refined.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and exactly why like the episode does end with him being like, "Oh, like I respect your
So,
outlook on the sword. Like I will help you train as much as you
Like-
can so you can master
Like he
it."
says, he mixes their traditional with his style to make his own.
Yes, and his father is proud of him for that. But anyway, the monsters attack, and his
a
father,
jailer.
not realizing that he's Kyoryu Green, starts defending him. And do they do the fucking full moon slash that's in
Yep.
like
Yeah.
And the Daybok
And-
monster, who is for Rage, is a jailer.
yeah. And he
Which-
jails martial artists and shit because
Which, by
when
the
they're
way,
trapped,
for all-
they don't get
that's right.
sad, they get mad.
And for all the Drive fans, Daybok, Justice Hunter. That is in my notes. Because when Drive uses Justice Hunter, he throws the grill and becomes a cage.
And
Rage against the day boss.
then
Rage
but
against yep.
then Blue, Pink, and Blue, Pink, and Red show up, fight the monster, and King actually goes to help Soji's father, saying like, "Hey, you're strong. You're taking these guys on, but you're gonna die. You might want to leave." And,
I'm in your deck.
And his
goes
dad
away.
actually does the reasonable thing and goes, "Oh, you're right. Thank you."
yeah, you're
You're
right.
right,
Thank you.
you're-
I'm in your
I'm in-
dad. I'll you later.
And we get a 3-man henshin.
Yeah, Wait, do we? I thought they just tensioned beforehand.
No,
It was
I'm
after
pretty
the
sure they were
fight.
already henching.
No, I think it was before. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then as they're like Kyoryu Green appears, after running away, transforming behind
Which,
a
I'm
power
gonna be honest,
transformer, which is
when
ironic.
when I watched that part, I thought his father was gonna walk in to see him transform at the first time.
I honestly, his
Like,
dad learns that he's a Kyoryuger at some point or another, so that would have been
Well,
a
just
perfect
the
time.
way the way it was shot, I thought he was gonna pop in through the corner and be like, "Soji."
Yeah, that would have been fine. But
Why are you dancing?
But then he runs off, helps the rest of them, and Dogold appears.
Irritating.
The Chevalier of Rage, and after watching that fight, and then knowing how strong they become later on, that fight, seeing them get their asses kicked, is fucking heartbreaking.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
And
I'll say it like this: Soji himself was also fighting with rage.
yeah.
Just Dogold was angrier.
Yeah, definitely. And he tries to then kick King's ass, which then Dogold's like, infighting, that's no fun. I'm angry, and leaves.
He's angry, but he has some honor.
Soji then de-transforms, revealing himself to the others.
Well, no. He at first they get back to Spirit Base, and then he challenges King, and then he's like,
right, yeah.
If you win,
Duel.
I'll de-henshin. If Soji
if
wins,
beat me.
King has to call him King.
Yeah, and then then they start the fight. Soji's about to beat him, and then King pulls out his gun and shoots him in the chest.
He just cheats.
He never said I couldn't use my gun.
Yeah, he never cheated because Soji himself said, "I did not say he couldn't use the gun." He is correct.
He just kind of accepts defeat and then de-henshins.
Yeah, so we meet Soji. He says
I thought of it as that no matter what, he would have lost and had to show himself anyway.
I don't think so, because he was again fighting with rage and instinct that King could not match. That's why King resorted to using his gun.
I feel like King would have found a weak spot, but
maybe, but he's not
regardless.
lucky
After all,
it's King, not Lucky.
Yeah.
Fair. So he reveals himself.
And then after that, they realize that the monster of the week is way too fast, so they need Dino Chaser!
Yeah. AKA Dinos and Chase.
A team
AKA Toy Sales.
Which is funny because
go ahead.
two little dinos, Dinos and Chase.
And also, that toy gave us the only Power Super Sentai figure in literal years.
And this show, and watch the Sentai be more like Rider than most Rider.
Yeah. Like, for the first time, I think since Aba Ranger, the team had motorcycles.
Not for Ranger, but
motorcycles in like Deca Ranger.
Oh, only for Deca Break. It was like his
big wheel.
His literal big wheel.
His power wheel.
His D wheel. Wait, that's 5 Ds.
And then afterwards, No-san is riding it and fucking doing a terrible job.
Now I want to see No-san's actor in Kamen Rider.
I forget the joke he makes, but after he makes the joke, Dino and Chase, which make up Dino Chaser, split apart and drive away. It's like, what? No! Was it that bad?
They just leave.
His joke was so bad, the motorcycle leaves him.
It's like, peace out.
His joke was so bad, his escape vehicle said no.
Question: Did the toy like split in half like that?
Yes, the toy was a combiner as well.
Okay.
Because they each bite one side of the battery.
Yeah. How it works is Dino breaks its fucking neck and bites one end of the Judenchi, and Chase bites the other.
Becoming Dino's Chaser.
Becoming Kamen Rider Laser Level 2.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be Revice's new bike.
Meanwhile, King and Ami go to the Rippukan Dojo, and basically King looks Soji's father dead in the eye while Soji's hiding in the background over eavesdropping, and says, "Why does your son think you're a piece of human dog shit?"
That's straightforward. That's the idea.
Yeah, I know. And
It's like, King, that's straightforward. That's the idea.
his dad says, like, yeah, I know Soji's not my biggest fan. Like, I guess I've been pushing him too hard. Blah 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 blah. And then Soji reveals himself and runs away, sad, and meets his Zord, Zactor.
Could this happen?
Also,
to
you kind of blew
me?
past the fact that he mentioned that his mother left. So
Oh yeah, his
a ranger that went through
mother's
divorce.
abortion. Yeah, which we'll get back to later.
Yep.
But I love the fact that Zactor is literally just like 10 feet away from his house.
Yeah, he's just hanging out in the forest.
He just snacks on the bamboo.
It makes me think that Zactor didn't actually pick Soji, that Soji just found him and didn't leave him alone until he picked him.
He was eating all the Rippukan brand bamboo.
No,
The
he
bamboo.
didn't pick him. It was just the first human he saw, so he went with him.
Yeah,
But he has
that
line
one,
like,
that is good.
yeah, he talks to Zactor, be like, I think you made a mistake. Why'd you choose me?
And
Edgelord.
King mentions King mentions while he's talking to Soji's father that he doesn't have really he doesn't have any real relationship with his father, because we find out earlier in the shows that he and his father were traveling the world, and his father just left him one day with nothing but a necklace, 3 coins, and a note saying, "Fuck you gonna do about it?"
It's either
His father
travel my path
Being a nomad
desert.
or go back to Japan like a bitch.
with money. Either follow my path of the dragon, or go back to Japan like a little putch.
Yeah, it's changed from
Your
Path of
choice.
the Dragon to Path of the Dinosaur later on.
Yeah, but then again, that's the whole re-soldier thing, controversy, whatever.
Yeah. What were you trying to say earlier, Rice?
No, I was just saying his father just up and left him in the middle of a desert.
Yeah,
I
Like,
basically,
child,
yeah,
He
With-
just left his kid in the desert.
with
with
a necklace,
coins that
some
I-
change, and an ultimatum.
With 3 coins that I guess add up to enough money for a flight for what I'm guessing is Egypt to Japan.
They're JoJo in it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah, on their way back, they pass. He's sitting next to Jotaro Kujo and
No,
Joseph
Blaze.
Joestar.
His plane crashed from Tower of Grey.
Oh no. Anyway,
Sorry, had to.
something I want to point out: why is the Dino Chaser Judenchi yellow in the show, but like this weird highlighter yellow color in?
Like 01 yellow?
Yeah, like
Because the main part is yellow, I guess.
I'm looking
I
at it.
don't
It's just like it's yellow, but it's a very light, bright yellow. Meanwhile, in
Maybe
the show,
that was
it's a very natural, like pure yellow,
Maybe-
the yellow you think of.
For all we know, they could have changed the design. Maybe they made the Judenchi first and then decided to do the Guardians afterwards.
Maybe, but Dino is still that bright
Yellow.
vibrant yellow. It's so
Maybe
strange.
maybe it's the coloring
Anyway.
issue.
Maybe.
know.
Anyway, after that, King and Soji's father get captured, and
The jailer.
Soji gets on Dino Chaser and rides after them, but without henching, does his signature move, Zangeki Musoken, which is the wild
Yes,
tearless sword, I think.
AKA he plays Genji.
Basically, he does the full moon slash basically again after
reverse
already
script.
doing it and failing. It's the same move, but somehow now it's working.
But reverse script.
Yeah.
And then his father's like, oh, he's refined his own technique.
Yes, honor.
So
He needs
Uh,
to be the
honor.
avatar.
And Soji now is a true part of the gang. And so we do a 4-man transformation. And we get the first appearance of one of my favorite songs, Tatake
Hey,
Kyoryuger.
Kyoryuger. You know, in that place, you're in for a fun fight.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to point out, Soji didn't brave in the Judenchi he put in his sword for a finisher, which confused me. But yeah, he and Soji and King do a combo finisher on 2 different bikes, where Soji slashes at the monster from one side, and King does a double finisher into its face from the other.
Back to episode 2 real quick. There was a part where we seen King put one of Stegochi's in his Gutter
Oh
Revolver
right,
finisher.
Yeah.
Kind of as a moment of in the last episode, as a moment of showing that Nobuharu completely trusts King. He gives him one of his Judenshi to do a finisher.
Just an increased blast.
Yeah, which it just does. It's the same as the regular double finisher, except
But
instead
with a
of
blue
just
bullet.
one, instead of just one head, it's 2 dino heads.
Okay, back to Soji.
Yeah, and they beat the monster. Quick Joyro again. And they form Kyoryujin. Again, I'm just gonna call it Kyoryujin Samba.
Yeah.
And then they say, Soji, go help the people. And then Soji says, no, Ami, you go help the people. And then she proceeds to not.
Here's my biggest problem with this, though. I get it, and it's just like Resoldier. I feel like when their Judenshi is no longer attached to the Zord, they should not be in the cockpit. Ami should have been on the ground helping.
Well, I don't think so, because then they shows them coming together as one. It shows them one by one. Them
Again,
together.
it's a nitpick. I get it. It's just a nitpick of mine.
I get it. It's fine. They're saying they should have done what they did in Juoger.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Just
but
care helping someone, and then just Ami on the ground fighting.
Yeah. So, but then Soji just says, "Hey, I'm not gonna help people. Ami, you do it." And then she proceeds to not to, but she sends
Zaktor there anyway
to go do it. So whatever. And then Zaktor shows up, and we get the first mismatched combination of Kyoryujin Stegochi Zaktor.
Well, aka Shield and Sword.
Yeah. Well, Shield and Claw.
Also, I gotta say, these first few mech fights had a budget.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kyoryujin was like jumping around, flipping around, like he was all over.
Bounce off the Tokyo Tower.
The mech was completely CGI in those fights half the time, but honestly, with how nice the combining part is, showing they do have these suits and they're all extremely nice and like well put together, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
also,
completely fine with it.
I love the little part where he's jumping around and you see him bounce off the tower. You hear a boing.
Yeah, was that this episode or was that next episode?
I think
That's
this
episode.
episode.
This is in the middle of a forest.
Oh, okay.
I think this is in the middle of a forest, isn't it? Anyway, but yeah, they beat the monster and shit. The finisher is weird for this mech because since they don't have a weapon.
Fireball
yet,
and then claw.
Yeah, so they don't have a weapon yet. The first thing is a giant Gabutyramigo head bites down on the opponent, and then the second one is it makes a fireball that then Zaktor's claw embodies, and then they do a slash, and then that kills it, which is normal.
My first thought when I saw that was discount Terraforce from Digimon.
And then after the fight is over, Soji and his dad give, I guess, the other three a performance of their sword technique. And his dad is like, "Oh, you've matured. You're learning your own style. That's great. I support you," and it's so nice.
Supportive parent.
Yeah, and then I didn't know this at all, that Soji apparently means to fucking clean, which now I realize Sojiki, like vacuum cleaner.
Soji.
Oh.
Did you not know that?
Fuck. No, I didn't know that until I looked at the fucking stuff for the explaining the joke.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because so when I first saw the Soji, I'm like, so it should be green. So it's a green bottle, and it kind of was.
Apparently, they do say it's green, but it's clearly blue.
Like it's turquoise.
It's like a teal almost.
Anyway,
Phil.
Something I made a note about, when No-san makes the joke, nobody laughs. It makes me wonder, why is this kind of old man joke, where misreading things on purpose, saying the wrong words? Why is this completely unfunny to these grown-ass adults, but the pinnacle of comedy to the children of the My Hero Academia
by the way,
universe?
This is the episode where he kind of gets his nickname No-san.
Yeah, No-san, which he hates because it sounds like Osan, which is old man.
Which is a pun.
Yeah. But yeah, again, why are these old man gags unfunny here to these adults, but the pinnacle of comedy to the children of My Hero?
Different timelines, humor evolved differently.
Whatever, fine.
Luckily, we love them.
The episode ends with Ian saying, "Oh, well, I guess those four are friends
Taking
now," as he
Kentro
steals
Spiker.
the Kentro Spiker Judenchi.
And then Happy Dance.
Yeah, then Happy Dance, which that's the first time I realized, holy shit, there are like 50 Zordoma in the background of that dance.
Well, in at least the first version, anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of the dance, a quick little tangent. I came across a video on YouTube of the ending. I guess like it was like the viewer submitted clips, and you see the Gaim cast. I'm like, I'm seeing Takatora dance, and I don't like it.
Takatora is smiling, and I'm scared.
It's like Takatora, Michi, I think Kota, Mai, and Kaito. Oh my god, they're dancing.
It's funny.
They're all
Tangent aside.
they're a dance team.
Not Takatora.
I just realized we haven't been talking about how what we thought of the episodes. So let's just give a quick recap of just like what we think about the first four.
Well, let's get episode 4 out the way, and then we can give our
At the
overall
end.
thoughts.
Very, very true.
So episode 4.
Episode 4 starts with King and Nosan painting something, and Ami
Pin a
says
sign up.
Soji is there. Yeah, a sign. Soji is there as well, and Ami
Soji calls him
says,
no son.
which he gets upset about. And Ami brings in something we don't know, but apparently they like whatever she brought.
It's probably snacks.
Yeah, it's definitely snacks, but
And then you have
It was
Ian
booze.
calling his, and then you have Ian calling his future teammates plebeians,
yeah. But
aka commoners.
I put one other bit of note in before that. King learned how to paint in Spain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you question this?
Just
The
like
king.
what? Who did he learn from? Did he somehow meet the descendant of Michelangelo?
He's a Spainter.
Shut the fuck up.
2 for 2. Blaze, be prepared. I have more. You're welcome.
So Ian says that his bullets of love have never missed because he has another girl on his arm. And then King
Wait,
was
one of
like,
the future-
"Whoa, what?"
And we'll get to that soon. But there was a future Zudenchi who has that exact same ability.
But King says like, "Oh, your bullets have never missed before." Cut to a dramatic flashback that we don't
He gets
know
triggered.
about yet. It's like, no, shut up! You don't know.
Ian gets triggered
Yeah.
easily.
And then we find out that there are now, like I mentioned before, we get a new monster, which is another sorrow monster.
Doron boss.
Yeah, Doron boss.
With whenever he moves his mantle, you hear a little musical like harp flourish.
Yeah, Harper the violin is like
Because
really stupid,
he's supposed to
honestly.
be because he's a phantom thief.
Yeah.
So Honore Kaito.
Rice, if you're still there, I don't know if you're just muted. I don't know if you're doing something. You don't need to respond. I'm just
I
gonna
think
let you know.
his mic's muted.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. All right. Anyway, take your time if you're doing something. Like, and then we learn the real, like, full backstory eventually that, like, Ian is, I guess, an archaeologist
From Europe.
Yeah, a European archaeologist who was studying the ruins of a certain country. Love these specific areas.
I know, right? Do what I did. That's called Castlevania.
Yeah.
He was at Hogwarts. Hogwarts.
Hargwatts?
Yeah.
Hargwatts.
Hogwarts.
I love Braggy Gigas at Hargwatts.
Hey, is that the one from Down Force Brave? But and yeah, we see his friend Shiro, who's played by Gunpei. Go on Black.
Yeah.
They're checking out the ruins of Hogwarts.
The whole thing is that his friend is a treasure hunter, and when they go to this castle to find this treasure and do some research, a creature attacks them, and Ian pulls out a gun and
So it's the same one.
Yeah. What?
It was the same monster.
It was.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was
Was
totally
it?
was totally the same monster. It was
I'm
totally
skipping
the
ahead
same
here.
monster.
It was the
totally-
same monster. It was Igron Games. The mantle was Igron's, but it was the same monster.
Well, we'll find. Like I was gonna save that for later as a dramatic reveal, it's like they did in the
Sorry.
episode. But all right.
No, it's not the same monster. It is Igaron.
Yeah, I know it is Igalon, but they gave them the mantle.
He says he gives him his mantle.
Yeah. that
Who's
was
on
after
first?
this.
What's on second? I don't know. Who's on third?
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
All right, moving on. But
Okay.
the monster got Shiro in a headlock, and Ian pulls out his gun and sees that there's one simple shot that he has to make in order to save Shiro, and he misses it. It doesn't hit Shiro in the face like I thought it was
He whips
supposed
it.
to.
He just straight misses.
Just over the shoulder, and then the monster gets these fucking huge talons that rip him apart.
Pulls a Kamen Rider Sabla, pulls these insectoid blade limbs, and stabs Shiro.
No, we knew him so well.
We knew him so well.
And
Blade. And then in that episode, we see the monster attack, and King gets in that same situation.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Let's start off our Saturday mornings with a good dose of drama.
Like,
A good
drops his
dose of
gun.
Sadness.
Drops his gun, hands on his helmet, like, oh my god.
Not
then-
again.
And then but then it cuts to like the villains, and they actually do point out that there hasn't been a Joy Monster yet, which that was in my notes. Like, why isn't there a Joy Monster? And then they bring that up in the show, which is good writing.
Yep. Saving best for last, I guess.
And then they realize that if they want to beat the monster, they need to use Kentra Spiker, but Torin says, the Judenchi's gone. I cannot find it.
And
I love how they all immediately think Ian probably stole it. Well, not Ian, Black stole it, but they don't know it's Ian yet. But
our teammates stole it.
Who's Rhesus?
Phrasing, regardless.
moving on.
Ian.
Doron Boss apparently tries to steal motherfucking buildings.
Because he asked a painter, what would make you sad?
Mm-hmm.
So he tries to steal like the entire scenery.
Yeah,
Just
we're getting
safe.
That's what he says he wants to do.
Oh, but can we mention the fact that can we also mention that Ian was going through PTSD and then the opening plays?
Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Indeed.
Sadness.
Yep.
Ian immediately, the second fight, Ian pulls out Kentra Spiker, immediately tries to use it, and he blows up.
Because we learned that Kentra Spiker has quite the knockback if you use it in the Gabba Revolver.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't meant to be used in it.
But then we see that because they fought twice and used final attacks and armed-ons, that
I went through all those batteries.
Yeah, they went through all their Judenchi. The batteries are drained, and they have to wait for them to recharge. And then King points out that he figured out that Black is Ian.
It was Ian.
Because he just says, like, keep your nose out of my business. And
leave me alone. Swipes his hand away. He's like, ain't that right, Ian?
Yeah, it's like, you did the same thing twice. You're not very creative.
It's like the whole... just like, you didn't want to do that because it'll catch on.
Anyway, Ian does get fucking pissed off at everybody and leaves.
And we're not mentioning that literally when he shoots Kentra Spiker shot, he not only does he start flying, he hits King into a vehicle.
And King
the car blows up.
Yeah.
Like, they get caught in an explosion, and Daigo got jacked up there.
Out of rage, Ian leaves and leaves all his Judenchi behind. Like, it's on the table, which I think is partially him saying, "Here, you charge my fucking shit."
I thought it was the whole like guy quitting Jetman thing again.
Yeah.
It's like, screw you guys, I quit.
And he hits on another girl, but she says,
"You're not hot when you're depressed."
Yeah. And then she leaves, and then King shows up and says, "Looks like you missed."
Okay, I still think you're pretty.
No, he's basically like, "Tell me your backstory. I'm gonna follow you."
Looks like he literally says, "Tell me your backstory, or I won't leave."
He's like,
Then we
"Fine."
get to the backstory that we mentioned earlier.
Shiro, the bullet.
I mentioned I just want to mention a archaeologist and a treasure hunter in Indiana. Indiana. It's Indiana Jones. If it wasn't for Gabutyramigo, that would have been the episode title.
And apparently, after that event happened where he lost Shiro, he falls. Parasagon lives in the castle, apparently.
Like somewhere.
Sagan was just there, I guess.
Yeah,
He's-
his guardian Judenryu, Parasagon.
And in my notes, I wrote Castlevane Ian and Castlevane Parasagon.
Also, I just wanted to point out, No Sun's sister is played by Deka Yellow.
Yep,
Jasmine.
point that out.
Yeah.
Soji's dad is
Soj-
played by both Goggle Black and Dinah Black, and Ian's friend is played by Goon Black.
Yep.
Sentai
So
veteran.
they're all
there's
connected.
quite a few Coco alumni in this series.
Yeah, they're all connected to like past Sentai actors.
And
But
then
it's kind
Ian
of funny
fell
that
100 feet and apparently was the first one to get his powers.
because he was saved by Parasagon,
Yes.
So he's Gao Yellow.
Why
Essentially,
the fuck
which-
is that the edgy loners always get their powers?
which makes sense because he was the one thing that would replace the yellow idea
Yeah, true.
because he took place of yellow, so it makes sense in this context.
But yeah, and then Daigo says to him like, until you make that shot finally, you won't forgive yourself. You won't move on. And then later on, eventually, legitimately gets himself stuck in that situation again, so he can give Ian the therapy he needs.
Yep. Again, for me, he's a good red.
Yeah, like
King
Ian
is just the most reckless therapist there is.
King is the friend you want to have. Like,
Hey, his catchphrase is "It's about to go wild."
yeah, it's
What'd you
about to get
expect?
wild. What the fuck do you want from him? And then,
And
like I mentioned before, an unmorphed fight while the monster is stealing buildings.
He literally started
And-
sucking up a stadium.
the fact that in this context of him knowing all their backstories, the main team gets together by episode 4.
Yeah. Ian in full Ara Ara mode. Sees King in that situation again, makes the shot this time, and then the team is truly assembled.
We actually get a pretty cool full team henshin.
With their hearts as one, they truly become Juden Sentai ToQger.
Gabutyramigo, Parasagon,
The Gucci is a tower.
Sakura, Gabutyramigo. And like I said, I've seen this clip for the first henshin more than the actual first henshin, and that makes sense because it's simple but effective.
Yeah, definitely. They fight together. They do great teamwork and shit.
The teamwork.
Aigalon and
Candelera.
was it Kate? I thought it was Lakiro.
Oh no, yeah, I think it was like I grew on like hero because Soji and Nosan fought him, and Ami just fought Lucky Hero.
Ami is just standing on Lakiro's head.
But-
Like, am I?
And he
Yeah,
can't look up.
Yeah.
yeah. No son. Soji fought Aigalon. Ami fought Lucky Hero, and Ian and King fought Doron Boss.
And then after they fight all the monsters, they still realize we can't beat this guy. His fucking cape is too powerful. And then like I forget who says it, but like, aren't we a team now? Don't we have a signature move? And then
Hey,
they
look,
realize,
Kentra Spiker,
and then they realize, oh hey, Kendra Spiker works by combining our weapons, and then they do that,
which
creating the
combining,
Go ahead.
which again, because not only did combining weapons this one, we also get a combined finisher.
Yes, we get the Kentro Spiker. I know these names are great.
I know, right?
Yes,
Short,
use
sweet,
the
to
use
short,
the
sweet to the
Kentro
drill
Spiker
bit.
in the Kentro Spiker. Boom, Kentro Spiker.
It's like, hey, let's take the Gal Ranger sword and just throw it.
And then they realize, and then they beat it. They beat the monster. Quick Joyro again, making the monster massive without his mantle this time because that's broken.
No, what I find interesting when
What's
they
that?
combine when they combine to make Kentro Spiker, it always goes into it would be because like you would think, oh, it's Ian's art, so you would think it would go in the Parasa shot. No, it always goes in the Stego shield.
Well, it goes into the Stego shield and the Parasa shot because they complete the circuit.
Yeah, but just the fact that you would think it would be fully, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yep. No mantle. Kind of weird.
We see the monster go big, and we get the debut of Parasagon in its battle mode, where its tail splits open and it has a giant fucking rail cannon.
It can get lasered.
Yeah. And then they decide that since blue and pink have a combination, shouldn't green and black have another combination? And so
Thus,
Ian
the debut.
Ian says, I'm not a fan of sausage fests, but fuck it, why not?
Yep.
And
thus,
we get
the debut of Kyurujin Western Yeehaw.
another yeehaw that does it better than Star Ninja.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we get
Every Sentai does everything better than Ninja.
First appearance of the 5-man team, first appearance of the 5-man henshin, the debut Ketch Spikers, first appearance of Kyurujin Western. The lost of first today. Must be good day.
Good day for Kyurujin.
It didn't feel forced in like a lot of Sentais do when they put in a lot of extra stuff.
Jeez,
Yeah,
it's like
no,
when
it's
you
not
give
forced, very natural.
when you have good writing and characters that can naturally grow, it's like you're watching a good series or something.
Yeah. And then we get
giving stuff time to build up actually makes it better.
It also helps the fact that each episode build up members of the team.
Exactly. That's one thing that's really good with the whole fact that the first episode had them say we're not going to be a team like other teams.
I mean, yes, Nohan and Nohan and Emi's were together, but there was for the same reason, family. We get Soji's reason, now we get Ian's reason, now we all together. Because, you're saying, we understand our characters more in episodes than almost most Sentais in their episode 40.
Because in normal Sentai episodes, by this point, we have the team coming together, and 3, maybe only 2 characters getting episodes exclusively for them. Meanwhile, here we have the team coming together and King shining in all of them. But episode 2 is about how family is keeping them from being Rangers. Episode 3 is about how family is keeping them from being Rangers.
Well,
okay.
Just like
it's more like
tradition.
Yeah, tradition is keeping him from being a Ranger.
And then
4, memories,
self-doubt, regret. And you look at I'm sorry. And here's the thing. This was spoiler. This is our first big Sentai team of 10 plus Rangers.
Yeah.
You have each member developed to some extent throughout the series, and look at stuff like Q Ranger, where only half the team got a sliver of development.
In Q Ranger, everyone got a signature, an episode exclusively for them, but it was more clearly about pushing the story forward and Lucky.
Whereas, compared to Lucky, he kind of steals the spotlight. I like Lucky, but he steals the spotlight, whereas Daigo, like Rice said, he's a therapist.
Daigo shares the spotlight.
He knows when to step down and let them learn themselves, and to step in and be like, hey, I need to help you.
Actually, I think about it. Daigo is the one the spotlight is on, but he
shares it
in with it. Yeah, he brings people in with him.
Yeah.
It's like Lucky, all on him, but Daigo, hey guys, want to jump in here with me?
Yeah.
Plenty like for everybody.
Want to kick this guy's ass?
Like all in favor kicking this monster's ass? Good, let's do this.
Check out my new camera. Oh wait, that's not a camera.
Look at my new dino.
Well,
look at my new Parasagon.
As the resident Lucky fan, I will say that I kind of disagree with the Lucky points, but I will say that I really like that we got a chance to really connect with every member of the main cast.
Yes, they feel like
a thing. And this is why I kind of miss the smaller synonyms, because like bigger teams are cool, but when you get smaller teams, you get more development.
Yeah.
See,
What were you
that's
saying?
the thing that I think is really like impressive. This is a really big team. Well, eventually,
This is our first big
becomes a really
team.
big team,
10.
but they give each character time to really develop. They give the audience time to really connect and understand.
And their stories can be told through the background or other episodes. Like they give them more development.
Yeah.
And well, like these characters are just fucking. They feel like people. This is a great team, but I want to just finish this episode discussion so we can move on to talk about the team a little bit more.
Yeah. So, Kyoryugen Western.
Yeah, after the extremely acrobatic Kyoryugen Western with Kyoryugen's theme, which is fucking badass.
COD, Call of Dino.
They beat the monster. It beats Doronbos, and it rains diamonds and gold and money from the sky. King picks up the biggest cut diamond in the fucking world.
And No-san's just like, taking all this back's going to be a pain.
Like, we have to return this.
We have to return all this. And he asked him, hey, where's your friend's treasure?
Yeah, Ian can't find it. But there's a reason he can't find it.
Because as we learn at the end, we learn that Doronbos's mantle belonged to Aigeron.
Why the fuck did Ian really think that the monster was the one who killed his friend? Meanwhile, he was born. The monster was born earlier that day, and he got a clear look at Aigelon's face.
I always thought
he never said Ian was smart. That just he was charming.
I saw he was like blinded by grief and rage. I just need to shoot this thing.
I think
he just saw the cape.
Aigeron was basically that the Lightning Collection figure that just came out of like Andros in his hood. Whenever he puts the mantle on, he's just all black. He's just a silhouette.
I think probably the real reason is, and I don't know from experience, but he when he got hit and he blacked out, it probably fucked with his head. He probably got a concussion or something because my cousin
he did fall like a cliff.
Yeah, like a 100-foot tall cliff, but my cousin got hit by a car right before the pandemic started, and she
forgot something.
She has no memory of like what happened right before the accident. She's like, "Why is everyone wearing masks?"
Oh my!
So yeah, you don't.
Wow.
You don't
oh my!
My!
Like it was. So Ian probably honestly just forgot Aigelon's face.
And
I'm
so
just
remember that
he didn't actually get a good look.
Maybe.
And I'm gonna say this right now. This leads to a pretty good rivalry later on, and a really good song.
And a great finale for the two of them.
Yep.
But we'll talk about that if and when we get to it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
in due time.
This was the first 4 episodes of Juden Sentai ToQger. I guess we'll go around the table. I'll go last, I guess. Everybody, what were your opinions on these first 4 episodes?
Who wants to go first?
First, I guess I'll go first. Or was that Armor?
Yes, that was me.
You started at the same time. I don't know.
Here, you go ahead, Armor.
Yeah, they're great. Koryuger is one of the shows that I would describe as peak Sentai. It is full of every Sentai trope, but does it well. It uses the tropes effectively. The cast has a lot of good high energy for it. The suit designs are great. The mech sequence, while not long, I still really enjoy the play pattern. And all the action is great.
Yeah, that was something that really caught my eye. The action, like the fight choreography, was really good.
Like something I really like about these shows is you can tell, like this show in particular, is you can tell everyone was having fun filming it.
Yeah.
Jerry?
Yeah, like you said, I think this is a really solid 4 episodes for a series. Like I consider this the best out of the 4 Dino series because the 4 episodes alone, you say what?
I said totally.
It's like in episodes alone, you get development, you get great action. The music alone is just really great. Just the aesthetics, the monsters, everything is done well. And like Omar has said, there's tropes, but they're done really well.
Yeah.
Just the fact that like look at modern series where we kind of wish we get this kind of stuff. We get this in episodes alone.
Yeah, this is
And like, well, yes, my favorite things from the series are in later stuff. This is a really solid start, and this is a really solid team.
yeah.
And again, like Ray said, you could tell that they were having fun and like they were actual genuine friends on and off set. I feel like the more we do this, we're gonna have. I feel like not only we're gonna see the cast have fun with this, we're gonna have fun doing this ourselves.
Yeah. Although, who knows what we'll be doing next? Because before we even really decide, we're gonna have to see how well this does.
Yeah.
But
I mean, as long as we're
honestly,
enjoying it.
yeah. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Fuck you guys. Fuck you, viewer.
If you
I
get
will
views,
say-
that'd be cool. But it's a passion project for the regulars.
Yeah. I will say the last time I watched Kyuryuger, I was in, I believe, middle school. So it's been maybe
Oh, really?
it's been maybe 6 years now.
Same.
And it really put into perspective how much I've, I guess, changed in the way that I watch tokusatsu or just sort of think about stories and characters in general, because I always liked Kyuryuger, right? And I was surprised in the way that like I came away from these episodes in a slightly, I guess, how would I say it? My impression of the show is a little bit different now, I guess.
You
Like,
matured.
I still like it. I still like it. But I realized I was much more aware of the depth, I guess, to each character. Because back when I was, younger, like, you just see, like, oh, this character's likable, this character's cool, I like the action, all that stuff, right? This time I was watching, I was really struck by the immediate depth of each character. They gave each character time to shine. They gave us time to really connect with them, develop their motivations, all that kind of stuff. And I thought, in terms of an introduction to a Sentai, this is one of the strongest ones I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm the same because last time. So what's funny is that Kyoryuger came out on the year I graduated high school in 2013, and around this point I was already finishing watching Mega Ranger and Forze. So when I first watched this was different because I was starting to be a bit more regular on Sentai because I kind of skipped around to watch what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first watched this, it was, oh, this is cool. It's a different way to do dinosaurs. This is neat. But then watching this again, good example, the way, like, again, I'm watching this, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so similar to Noah-san, it just scares me. And like, you just feel for these characters more than when you first watch it because you kind of understand more. And if you watch more series, you pick up on these things like, oh, here's this trope or here's this idea, but it's done better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, like as much as I enjoyed the aesthetics in Resoldier and Abba Ranger, they're done better here. I like the characters in Abba Ranger. I like the mechs, but I like the mechs here more. G Ranger is from nostalgia because of Mighty Morphin. Resoldier had cool suits, but Kyoryuger is a melting pot of what was good about the Dino series.
Yeah, definitely.
Korai is just a good example of what's good about Sentai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll get to my points then. This was the first Sentai I watched. It
Oh, wow.
was the best one to start with.
Hmm.
Kyoryuger its whole thing is that like you can move on from your flaws. Don't let something minor hold you back. Your flaws are your strength. It's just everything about Sentai. And looking at like I'm glad I finally got to see episode 2. Like looking at everything.
Wait, you haven't watched episode 2?
When I first watched it, I was 14 and I found Facebook videos people had uploaded the subs on Facebook.
The-
It was
that's
only
how I-
till
That was how I was able to
Really?
watch like Go-Onger for the first time. Was through
it
that.
took like 2016 or so for me to actually learn how to download
Use
torrents and
use
shit.
the-
But
use the websites.
yeah, but it was ToQger has a fucking special place in my heart. I thought that other shows were better. They're not. ToQger, I think, is definitely my favorite Sentai, and I'm so glad that I actually have a Gabu revolver and a shitload of Judenchi, because this show, I think, is one of the most important shows, if not things, in my life. It's
Like I said,
It
it's a
was-
melting. It was a melting pot of all the good things in the Dino series.
it was fucking astounding, and the fact that like Power Rangers Dino Charge hit the mark with the first season and fucking crashed and burned in the second is so
At least
sad.
it's memorable.
Yeah. Supercharge
Oof.
was
It
oh boy.
was.
It
Hey.
was Neo Saban being Neo Saban.
Hey, but at least compared to other Super seasons, at least it tried at some points.
It was good
And-
in the beginning. At least
Hey.
at least it started good.
Ninja Super still exist.
That's the bar we're holding Neo Saban. At least they tried.
Yeah.
And
That's the standard. At least they tried.
and at least for Beast Morphers and Dino Fury, we're picking stuff up, so we're getting good again.
Yeah.
But that's for another day.
Definitely. And it not maybe even for another show, maybe not even ours. Because this whole thing is stuff that happened before Castranger. So
Yep.
anyway,
So we can talk about the first. So is first half a Gaim on the list?
no, they did the first half of Gaim. We can't do Gaim.
I'm making the joke here, Blaze.
I know, but we could do Wizard.
Oh, please no.
Uh,
I cannot sit through Wizard again.
Wait, how about
Wizard might have
Forze?
been-
How about Forze or O's? Anything other than Wizard?
That's a
I'll
discussion for
watch
another
Ghost.
day.
Anything other than Wizard, I'm fine
Hey,
with.
you guys
You know
don't
what's
have
how
to
long
be
it
on
took
board.
us? Maybe we should just start doing 2 episodes a week. And just
Yeah,
focus
I
on
think-
getting
I
through
think-
Koryuger.
I think full-on arcs might be too much. Anyway,
If anything, it's a good. It made sense we do something big for our big start.
yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I really appreciate everybody being here for
algorithm.
this. Yeah, I really appreciate everyone being here for this. This is my child, and we'll see if we're gonna keep it going with this one, or if we put it up for adoption.
And if anything, it'll just be like every few weeks we do an episode again.
Yeah, whenever we fucking feel like it. Also, I'm sad no one laughed at my dark joke because now I feel like an asshole. Anyway.
I like
It's
your
okay,
joke.
Blaze. That's how I feel every day.
It's okay, Blaze. You are an asshole.
Shots fired.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, listening, however the fuck you enjoyed this.
Liking, sharing,
And-
subscribing, being a human being, watching this audio podcast ran by a bunch of idiots. Sorry, too soon.
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this has been it. It came from Japan. That's a website. This has been
This is from-
previously in Japan. We're a group of a certain number of
Regulars
assholes
from
around the world who were just talking about tokusatsu.
We're a bunch of the regulars from the Castranger depths.
We are the leftovers.
Yeah. Honestly,
The regular
this-
overs.
honestly, if previously in Japan wasn't already in a bunch of shit, I think the leftovers would have been a great name for this series. I wish you had said that earlier, because, like, yeah, Castranger just talking about all the new shit. This is the leftovers.
But then I think what was it Garu said previously in Japan? Be like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna use this name.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching for like the 15th time, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye everybody.
Ah.